What's an unfun fact? Part 2. When a male bee drone ejaculates, its testicles explode and the drone dies. It is literally a one-shot wonder. This is also a drone bee's only job. The males are literally slaves only used for breeding. And when autumn comes and the hive hibernates, all the drones are forced out of the hive to die in the cold. Sea otters kill and rape baby seals, not always in that order. Seagulls are also known to eat baby seals' eyeballs. People who handle cockroaches develop allergies to them. This usually prevents them from drinking pre-ground coffee because of the cockroaches that get grounded in with the large batches. This is a viscerally unfun fact. That brain-eating amoebas exist at all, and is also pretty commonly found in freshwater ponds and lakes. Apparently only 4 people have survived getting it in the last 50 years. I have a friend that got LASIK eye surgery, and then 2 months after she started getting eye pain and was losing her vision. Somehow, a flesh-eating amoeba got into her eye via the eye flap left over from the surgery, and started eating her cornea. She was in serious pain and eventually lost all sight. Seems like they managed to kill off the amoeba, and then she got a cornea transplant. Shit was crazy. Whales don't die of old age. Eventually they just don't have the strength to resurface and slowly drown. Maybe if they didn't ejaculate 40 gallons at a time they could live longer. Why live another day if it's not spent ejaculating 40 gallons of semen? There is a penguin species with sex practices that were so disturbing that the person studying it almost didn't publish his findings. It involved a lot of rape, necrophilia and pedophilia. Deep sea octopus babies take 5+ years to hatch, while mama octopus never leaves the nest to feed and dies when the babies hatch. She doesn't eat for 5+ years. Tapeworms can grow up to 32 feet inside of you and they eat half of what you eat. People used to consume them on purpose to lose weight. Dolphins in captivity usually commit suicide by suffocating themselves. Famous example, Flipper. It gets worse, they do this by consciously deciding to not breathe until they die. It's less pressing a pillow against your own face, and more holding your breath so hard it kills you, and you are awake and aware the entire time. They get so bored and desperate they would rather die than live as an entertainment slave. In my opinion, it is the best example of a non-human entity demonstrating free will. There is a whale called 52 Blue that only sings at that frequency, meaning it can't communicate with other whales. It is nicknamed the loneliest whale on the planet. There's a theory that the whale is either deaf or a hybrid species of 2 different kinds of whale, making a song that is in between those two. Marlin in Finding Nemo should really turn into a woman and Nemo becomes the husband. That's what happens when the female dies. There's a film theory video that asserts this is gradually happening in the movies. Your lips are made of the same skin as your anus. Do you have lips on your ass? Or an anus for a mouth? Spicy foods make a lot more sense knowing that. Spicy ass is worse than spicy mouth. Trees actually only make roughly 20% of the world's oxygen, with the other 80% consisting of the algae phytoplankton. So simply planting trees isn't as effective as you'd think. There are more tigers held in captivity in the USA than in the wild across the world. Dolphins fuck people. They said unfun facts. Pretty much any fact about koalas counts as an unfun fact. They're like an evolutionary train wreck. For example, they eat only 2 things, which are an incredibly toxic plant and their own shit. And shit eating gave most of them chlamydia. There are more slaves today than any time in history. When humans are being formed, we form our anus first. So at one point in your life, you were just an asshole. Humans belong to a subclassification of animals called deuterostomes, or second mouth. During embryological development there is a period where part of the tissue folds back into itself, creating what's called a blastopore. Our blastopore develops into the anus. We come out butt first. A new mattress weighs about 90 pounds. A used mattress weighs about 110 pounds. It's been almost an hour and no one has mentioned that the human asshole expands wide enough for a raccoon to fit in it. Like and subscribe or you'll get a tapeworm.